Please welcome to the stage our story for the day from Ontario, Canada, 7-star diamond, Lindsay Martin. Come on up, Lindsay. So tell us about your life before Beachbody. Can we hear you?
Yeah. Well,
Mic check. Mic. Let's bring the mic up. Who wants to hear a story? Yeah. Try the mic.
Is it working? Yeah. So before I discovered Beachbody, I would say that I was simply existing. I was that girl, the girl that battled her weight her entire life. At age 7, I weighed 140 pounds. When I reached high school, I was well over 200 pounds. And one day I decided enough was enough. I was going to change my life, and I did. I have maintained an 80-pound weight loss for over 15 years. I have had 2 babies. I've gained over 100 pounds of baby weight. I've lost all that baby weight. But what I discovered along my journey was that we could change our outside, but some of the most difficult work needs to take place on the inside. And at 27, life just really started to hit me hard. It was setback after setback. I was dealing with heartaches, depression. My marriage ended, and I became a single mom when my son was 4 months old. And it was at that point where I really started to lose who I was. I was run down and exhausted. And as a result of living in the past and all that negative stuff, I built walls and just became bitter and angry and upset and unhappy. And one of the biggest setbacks in my life happened just before I turned 30. I was back on my feet. I had bought my son and I a new home. I was in a new relationship with my now husband, Dennis. And even though my marriage ended, my ex-husband, Jeff, and I remained the best of friends. We had known each other ever since we were 18, and we were committed to giving our son the best life possible. And one day he called me and said that he wasn't feeling well. So, fast forward, there was no warning signs. There was no time to even comprehend the word cancer. Jeff discovered that he had inoperable tumors throughout his entire body. His heart, his liver, his lungs, his pancreas. And it was 10 days. 10 days from the date of diagnosis until the day that I picked out one of my best friend's tombstones that said "Loving Father" on it. I never got to say goodbye because we were 11 minutes too late arriving to the hospital that day. He died at 35. So, for 3 years following his death, I felt as if I was just merely existing. I was trying my best. I was trying to explain death to a 2-year-old. I put on a really good mask of faking that everything was okay in my life, when in fact, I was a complete disaster. And before Jeff died, I made a promise to him that I would give his son the best life possible, and I knew the way that I had been existing following his death wasn't honoring that wish at all, and I knew that I had to change. That's when I discovered Beachbody.
Knowing you and knowing about Easton, your son, I know how proud he would be of what you've done, and I know how proud Dennis is of what you've done. But sometimes when the going gets tough, it actually gets even tougher. So take us back, take us through what happened after that. What was your kind of aha moment that led you to Beachbody?
So I was scrolling through Facebook and a girl popped up in my newsfeed, and Dennis and I, we had just welcomed our baby girl into the world 10 months prior. He was looking to tone up and get in shape. So I joined the challenge group, 21 Day Fix Challenge group, and I loved it. And I wanted to share that. I became a hobby coach. I had no intentions of building a business at that point. I returned back to work full time after I had my daughter. And the final blow came. I went to work, I got called up to HR, and I was fired on March 26th of 2015 without any notice. Dennis and I, we just bought a bigger home. We just started planning our wedding. We had just gotten back on our feet after the toughest few years of our life. And I was ticked off. I was so mad. And I came home that day, and I was just finishing up my first ever challenge group. And that was the day that I said enough was enough. It wasn't over until I won, and that's when I went all in as a coach, and my life has never been the same.
And I know it hasn't. Yeah, give it up. I actually met you in Winnipeg a couple weeks after they let you go. And I remember sitting across from her, and she said, I'm going all in. I don't have anything to lose at this point. I'm going to go all in. So describe to us what that exactly looked like for this past year. Because you were a diamond last year at this very time, and you're now a 7-star diamond.
That's right. Thank you. So I had all the same limiting beliefs that likely some of you have. I thought that I wasn't fit enough. I thought that there were too many coaches. I thought that I'm painfully shy. And I was worried about what other people thought of me, but the fear of my family going without, the fear of disappointing Jeff, trumped any fear or insecurities I had of putting myself out there as a coach. And my mindset shifted that day. I lost my job, and my mindset was there was no reason for a plan B, because coaching would be my plan A, and it was do or die, it was sink or swim. I was going to work as if my family's life depended on it, and I did. And I still work like that every single day. That day, I started sharing my stories. I needed to become more than a girl that just worked out and ate healthy. I became vulnerable, and I ripped off my mask, and I stopped being ashamed of my past. And I started using my stories as a means to inspire people, to give them hope. And in turn, my life changed, and my business grew. I've been consistent every single day, showing up for the past 16 months, and I have made personal development a top priority in my life because I knew that I would have to become more. And a vision. I always, no matter how bad my life got, I always had a vision for my life. I always knew that there would be a silver lining. And last year, when I came to Summit as a new coach, jobless, I sat up there and I had a vision for my life and for my family's life. And I went home and I took massive action. And it's changed my life beyond anything that I ever could have imagined. I have been blessed to be a part of so many incredible people's journeys, to see so many lives changed. I have more than tripled my old salary. I have recently been asked to be a co-author in a book about empowering women to be their most brilliant self. Which is amazing. And in the new year, I'm going to be retiring my husband, Dennis. We are expecting baby number 3 to our family.
Yes! Congratulations! Ladies and gentlemen, the definition of getting stronger every single day. 7-star diamond.